Day 68, scenes from the Black Sea. Now the reason the cleat didn't disengage the other day and I fell off the bike was because that bolt had actually sheared, and you can see from the worn area the cleat was just swinging about on the shoe, and the cleat is still on the bike with one of the bolts actually still intact, having worked its way loose. Making a little offer of thanks here for the camping spot, partly because, well, entirely because I don't want to carry that weight up and down the hills. Simplest requirements. Hello. Hello. Bit of foosball. This is what a PE lesson looks like at a Turkish primary school. I was intercepted by a cleaner of the local primary school as I left camp today, invited down for a chai or two, and then apparently got popped into the PE lesson, maybe even as a substitute teacher, I don't know, because there was no other teacher around, and everyone got quite excited about it, myself included. Scored a couple of absolute screamers, and it's a shame that they didn't know really any English, because I could have told them a little bit about bicycle tearing. The teachers were all very friendly, and the English teacher suggested I stay for lunch, but it would have meant another couple of hours of screaming children, and decided the solitude of the road beckoned, and further kilometres. And actually, for the first time, coming up just now, I've got a number on the distance to Sinop. 280 kilometres. Normally that might be 2 or 3 days, but probably more like 4 or 5 just now. 270. Quite a few friendly toots like that from the Turks, good to see. 270 to Sinop. You work very, very hard for 10 kilometres. Terrace closed. Lovely. No terrace found in CIDE, so onward and upward. I've had some pretty adverse weather and at times some pretty horrible roads through Eastern Europe and Turkey so far, but today neither of those things. Absolutely fantastic bit of cycling. Whee! Just peeled off the road down to the beach. It's a completely abandoned settlement here. It's all a little bit spooky. Maybe it's the off season, I don't know. I decided I like this section so much that I'd ride it twice, and also because my jumper fell off the back. Bungeed it on, have not learnt my lesson from day 6, whenever it was. Given that my bank card and my credit card and a few hundred lira were in that pocket, and I only had to climb, what, 100 metres and maybe a kilometre back? Pretty fortunate, happy with that. Good fortunes once again. Hot stove, a few chais, harbourside, and a place inside to sleep. Superb. Day 69, Christmas Eve. Cracking little stop last night. Just pulled over in the village of Konak and asked the chap about pitching the tent, and he made a few calls, pulled a few strings, and then walked me down to this harbourside cafe where chais are offered and a place on the floor to sleep, which is great. And got kept up a little bit late by some fishermen that came in who were quite loud and smoking, but can't really complain. I think I was asleep by 9:45, so not bad. One problem that Turkey has not yet learned to deal with is plastic and litter. There's just litter everywhere in Turkey. Nice view though. Another lovely sunny day on the Black Sea. Dojanyurt. Probably about halfway between Zonguldak and Sinop. Great morning on the bike. Lots and lots of hills. In the market for a lunchtime feed. Bit of kofta and a little calf, and then befriended a very friendly taxi driver who invited me into his little taxi driver meeting room where I made a Turkish coffee and we took selfies. That's just what people do here, I think. And wasting no time in gaining altitude immediately back to the hills. Not flat. This is pretty typical of the terrain along the coastline here. You sort of climb to 100 or 200 metres, traverse for a little bit, and then you have to come right back inland and right back down to pretty much sea level, cross a valley, and then climb steeply back up. It's very nice, I think. I turned a bit of a corner earlier and now I'm on the pretty much due north facing stretch of the Turkish coast. This goes all the way along right into the distance, about 150k away to Sinop. Inebolu, just down there in the valley, my next stop. Wow, it looks hilly. A lot of these little villages seem to have these enormous harbours. There's the same with Deniz Konak yesterday, and surely much more than what's needed for a few little fishing boats. I presume it's something to do with the military. I chanced upon this little place, surely the most decadent accommodation yet, absolutely ideal. Came about by complete chance, just asking a random on the street who pointed me into this nearby shop, and the guy said, yeah, come stay at my hotel. And here it is, 300 lira a night, including breakfast. Merry Christmas. Day 70, Inebolu, and it's Merry Christmas today, the 25th of December. And to celebrate, to mark it, I'm having a day off the bike and fortuitously found an absolutely delightful little hotel just through asking a chap on the street who asked in a shop who knew a guy who pointed me somewhere. Lovely little area for drinking tea, very hospitable hosts, and very happy to hang out here while it's drizzling on Christmas Day, and perhaps a little bit presumptuously have booked a flight from Tbilisi back to the UK for the 19th of January, which gives me plenty of time to get to Tbilisi if bike and body hold up. It's following me. Not much meat on these legs, chap. Just sitting down for a little Christmas treat from the pastisseria. Big old cake. Calorie replenishment. Day 71. And putting off my departure into the wet conditions. Very, very reluctantly dragged myself away from the hotel at about midday. There was actually a very good case for staying for another night, but I thought either I'm going to get very impatient that I'm not moving, or I'm going to get absolutely soaked. It's been hammering it down for the last half hour. It's a lovely little route actually along the Black Sea, and there's actually a decent swell here. I don't know what the Black Sea surf scene is like, but I reckon that's looking pretty good out there. I had an absolutely delightful Christmas Day rest day yesterday. Absolute home from home. The owners were really friendly, hospitable. There was a really nice feel to the place. The food was great, and I absolutely loved just being camped out there for the day. Had a little wander around town, bit of eating and drinking, and yeah, sad to leave, but kilometres to ride. Taily and flat roads for a little change. Feels like first time in a long time I've actually been travelling at a decent pace in the right direction. I was just stopped by the police just back there, asked to see my passport, and had a little chat. They talked to me in Turkish for some time, and I nodded and smiled. And they had the decency to purchase me a sort of sugary, greasy little pastry for my troubles, and bade me good day. The persistence has paid off. The torrential rain of earlier has abated somewhat, and tailwinds offering fantastic progress. Just popped out on what I think is my first well-defined Turkish col. Just climbed inland to perhaps 300 or 400 metres, and about to descend down to Avelchik back at the Black Sea, where I hope to find a room for the night. Approaching Avelchik, some serious dev going on here. Just come off a very nice wide smooth tarmac road onto this. Pretty decadent accom tonight. Absolutely no qualms checking into a luxurious hotel, actually standard price, 300 liras, including breakfast, and look at this, don't see this very much, a kettle. Brilliant. Today was easily the wettest day of the tour so far. A lot of hours of torrential rain, and probably well over 1,000 kilometres of climbing. So just happy to progress. And just a note on this brickwork. Thought it was genuine, but actually it's a facade. Clever that, isn't it?